guys, so today I am going to be sharing some stripper confessions with you guys. Sorry for my voice, it's a little hoarse. I've been sick all week, but I'm finally feeling better enough to film, thank God, because this is like literally the only thing I'm good at. Whenever I ask you guys what kind of videos you like to see, a lot of people tell me that they want to see more videos about my past as a stripper. Now, I didn't work as a stripper for a very long time. I did it very briefly because I had some financial troubles while I lived in Los Angeles, and it was a very, very difficult time in my life. Also, I just want to preface this by saying, to a degree, I am generalizing. This is not true for all strippers, but this is just something that I have found to be true in my experience. Another thing I want to tell you guys is that up until a couple weeks ago, my mother never knew that I was a dancer, and so that is why I kind of tiptoed around it on my YouTube channel, because I didn't want to break her little heart. But in a state of drunkenness, I actually told her, and she reacted pretty well to it. She was very sad about it, but we talked it through, and I feel really great because it feels like a huge weight has been lifted off of my shoulders, because she is kind of like the last remaining person that didn't know about it. And I used to be ashamed of it for a very, very long time, but we all have difficult and weird pasts, and these pasts sometimes shape us into the people that we are today. And looking back, I'm really glad that I was a dancer, because it has helped change my outlook on the world and on life, and it has desensitized me a little bit, but I also think that's a good thing, because I used to be like way too sensitive back in the day. So I don't know, you guys might think differently, but these are just going to be some of my stripper confessions. So my first stripper confession is that not all strippers are crackheads and drug addicts, but a lot of them are. I did not realize how much drug use was happening at the strip club when I first started working there, because I'm not a person that really does drugs. I smoke weed from time to time, but I don't do like anything crazy like crack, meth, heroin, cocaine, or any of those like party drugs. Like I don't even do Molly. I won't go near that stuff. But as time went on and as I started working there more, I started to realize like these girls are on drugs. And it was a vast majority. And if they weren't on drugs, they were alcoholics and they were drinking a lot, which was the case for me, because since I didn't do drugs, I went to the next thing, and that was overconsumption of alcohol. Now, does that mean that every single girl dances in order to support her drug habit? No. It just means that some of the girls are so unhappy to be there that in order to make working more fun and tolerable, they will do drugs such as ecstasy or cocaine. It'll put them in a better mood. It'll make them work better. In some cases, it'll even make them lose weight. I know that one girl, when she started working at the club, she was a little bit chunky, but over like a couple of months, she started doing cocaine, and then like 3 months later, she was super, super skinny, and obviously that was attributed to her drug use. So I probably just pulled this number out of my ass, but I believe that about 85% of strippers have some kind of serious flaw or issue, whether it be daddy issues, baby daddy issues, drug issues, drinking issues, depression, anxiety. Like, no girl that I met as a stripper was like a well-adjusted, happy-go-lucky girl. Like, there was always something wrong, like something in their life just like kind of caused them to derail, and then here they were. And I hate saying that. And yeah, maybe there were a few girls there that did legitimately enjoy dancing and they were exhibitionists and this was empowering to them, but like, for the vast majority, I really do believe that like something bad had happened. And that was the case for me. I was in abusive relationships with men my whole life. My father passed away suddenly. And I'm also the kind of person, when people tell me not to do something, it makes me want to do it more. And society always tells us like, don't be a stripper. And that basically made me kind of want to be a stripper even more. And also, I think all strippers have issues with relationships and men. There was one that didn't, and maybe she did, but like I just never saw it. But that's probably because she was dating a guy that worked at the strip club, and they both kind of like liked the whole working at a strip club together thing. But a lot of women there had boyfriends or husbands that either didn't know that they were strippers and they were doing it behind their back. There was like literally one girl who would tell her boyfriend every single Friday and Saturday that she was out with her girlfriends, and there she would be shaking her ass and titties on the pole. And I'm like, how does your boyfriend not catch on to this? Like, this strip club is in the same town you guys live in. You're playing a very risky game. Or other women, I could just tell had husbands who were making them do this. A lot of the strippers I talked to said that they had an end goal. I'm only gonna work here for 6 months and that's it. They would set a date for themselves, or they would set a financial goal for themselves, such as I'm going to make $5,000 and then I'm done. And there were two types of strippers. The strippers that set those goals and stuck to them, which weren't many, and then there were the strippers that really did stick to those goals and they got in, made the money, and got out, and like, God bless you girls. One of the main things about stripping is that it is the devil's money. It is easy to make and it is even easier to spend. And one night you can make $1,500 and you'll feel like, wow, that was so easy. Like, I can make that again tomorrow night, so I could just take this $1,500 tonight and go and spend it on shoes. But then at the end of the day, like, you don't end up saving any money. You don't give yourself any kind of security for the future. With stripping, because the money is so easy and so quick, it makes going back to a regular 9-to-5 job afterwards that much harder. As a stripper, you're kind of used to making your own schedule and working on your own terms and doing what you want to do. Like, you can't go to an office job and do 3 shots of tequila and go and dance on the desk and then leave 3 hours later. Like, there's more structure in everyday life. Stripping will change your outlook on men and relationships. I know for me, it has 100% changed the way that I see relationships. I see that a lot of it is phony and bullshit, and people are capable of really, really terrible things. And a lot of you might think, wow, that sucks that you have such a bleak outlook on life, but I don't think so. I think I have a much more practical and realistic outlook. And now that I have seen what I have seen, I can better prepare myself for certain situations in life. Like, one day when I get married, if my husband cheats on me or sleeps with a prostitute, I won't be like, well, that came out of nowhere. Like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, people are disgusting and horrible and will do terrible things to each other, and this makes sense. The pregnant stripper, a lot of people like joke about it. It's not a myth, it's a real thing. I actually worked with a girl that confided in me one night, and she basically asked me to promise not to tell the manager that she was pregnant because then she would be asked to leave. So I didn't say anything because it really wasn't my place. She did start showing eventually, and then she did get asked to leave, but that just made me so sad. And as somebody that was new to that whole entire scene, it was really crazy because, like, oh, you hear about pregnant stripper and like movies and stuff, and it's like meant to be a joke, like, oh, the pregnant stripper, but like, it's real. And the last confession is that a lot of strippers do have side jobs. I know that some strippers actually had normal day jobs. One was a cosmetologist. Some of them were putting themselves through school, and then there were the girls that were also like escorts. I feel like the girls that did have like the more normal jobs and would do the stripping at night were probably the ones that were like the most well off, and they were really just doing it to cover expenses such as college, medical expenses. But yeah, so those are just some stripper confessions. I have plenty more, so if you guys want to know more, let me know in the comment section below, or click the thumbs up button to let me know that you like this video. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button and the little bell next to it to join the notification squad, because that makes you cool or some shit. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!